Hey guys, welcome back to yet another live session of the Western Vocals Beginners course. We are SIFF Young Artists where we nurture the artist in you. I'm Anirudh and I'm here every Monday at 4 pm. This is a 6-month course and we have a live every Monday at 4. If this is the first time you're joining us, this is session number 4. So you can watch this and then go back to the previous 3 sessions on our channel and have a look at that as well. And for those of you who are joining us for the first time, in every live video, we have some material and PDFs for you guys to refer to and learn from. You can find that in the description below once the live is done. Okay, great. So as I mentioned, we are here 4 p.m. every Monday. And if you have any comments or doubts or suggestions, put them down in the comment section below, and we will try to answer all of them. And lastly, yeah, that's pretty much it. As I mentioned, if this is your first time, go back to the previous 3 videos because a few concepts might seem a bit new to you guys. Okay, so right now, what's the first thing that we do in every session? It is the warm-ups. So today we are not going to do an elaborate warm-up like the previous sessions. So session 3 had a shorter warm-up. Today it's going to be even shorter. So let's try and do it within 1.5 to 2 minutes, right? Okay, so for those of you who have done it before, let's start with the shoulder drop. Just one, inhale, exhale, and drop your shoulders, right? That frees up your upper body. Now neck, right to left, up to down, rotate it clockwise and anti-clockwise. Done, the neck is done. Now face, open your mouth as wide as you can and slowly close it. Great. Now the tongue, extend your tongue downwards as long as it goes and then slowly retract it back. Great. Now a quick yawn to open up your throat once again. Great. And now let's just take one note and hum. So this is like a nice massage for your vocal folds. So once again, nice one. So now lastly, we can end it with a bit of a lip trill that we've learned. So fingers on your cheek with a burr sound. Remember? So start off low. Now the middle ranges. Now the higher ranges. Great. Now once from low to high and we're done with the warm-up. Right? Great job. You can do that till your breath lasts. So we've completed the warm-up in under 2 minutes. What took us about 15 minutes in the first session, we've completed it in 2. So great job, guys. Give yourself a round of applause. As we go further, things start getting faster. So it becomes second nature to you, right? So things start becoming faster and you can be more efficient in your practice as well. So now that we have warmed up, so the last session we spoke about the concepts of pitch and volume. So we did get quite a few comments and questions from some of you that the concept was sort of clear, but there was still a few hiccups here and there for a few of you. So we just thought we'll make it even clearer and dive a bit deeper into the concepts of pitch and volume today. And we have some more material for you, which I will be showing you in just a minute. So before that, let me just give you a quick recap. So what is pitch? Pitch is basically how fast the sound waves are vibrating, right? It's the speed of the vibration. So this is what we call as low pitch. You would have heard it when any musicians or any singers talk, right? So you might have used the term yourself. So low pitch is something like so this is what we call a low note. So I'm singing a low note, and if I'm singing an extreme high note, it would be something like this is a high note. So I exaggerated it so you get the difference. So low, middle, high. Got it? So that is pitch, and volume is basically how strong the vibrations are, right? How loud it is. So for example, when you're whispering, hey, hi, how are you doing? Right? This is soft in volume. And hey, hey, when you're screaming at someone far away, that is loud. So volume is loud and soft, and pitch is high and low. So a quick exercise that we did to understand how loudness and softness works is saying the word louder but increase in volume as you go ahead. So louder, 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 louder. And soft, go down. Softer, 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 softer. Louder, 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 louder. So the volume is increasing. Softer, 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 softer. So the volume is reducing now, right? So that is basically what volume is. And pitch is essentially, say you're singing the solfege notes. That is do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So as we are going up each note, we are increasing the pitch, right? So the other exercise that we did to understand this is while we are singing do, re, mi, fa, as the pitch increases, we reduce it. We increase the volume as well, right? So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Right? And while coming back, we can reduce the volume as the pitch reduces. This is a great exercise to make you understand how you can change the volume with pitch. So backwards, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. So hope that was clear. So now I have another presentation for you guys. So where we are going more in depth with respect to these topics. So let me quickly show it to you. So yeah, hope this is visible to you guys. So this is what we discussed right now. So pitch is high and low, and volume is loud and soft, right? So now as we go forward, let's just take a look at how this works with maybe a few instruments that you might have seen or heard of. So have you guys seen or heard of any of these instruments? I'm sure most of you will know the violin, but a double bass is something maybe a few of you might not have heard of. So here we are seeing a violin, which is a smaller instrument and it has a higher pitch. And the double bass, so usually in a string quartet, as we call it in an orchestra, we have a violin, a cello, a viola, and a double bass. So violin is usually the higher pitched instrument and double bass is usually the lowest pitched instrument, right? So, and another thing here is that it's very common that the pitch can change in instruments with a lot of different factors. Say for example, smaller the instrument, usually higher the pitch, and it can also depend on the size of the strings and length of the string that you play and all of that. I'll also show it to you on my guitar. So yeah, there are a lot of factors. So in a similar way with our vocal cords as well, the thicker the vocal cords, the lower the voice. And the thinner the vocal cords and vocal folds, usually it's a higher voice. So with boys, usually the vocal cords thicken with age and this is what we call as your voice cracking or your voice changing, right? But for girls usually, or for younger children, the voice is still higher because the vocal cords are still very thin. And even between boys, different people can have different pitches or ranges. Some may sing in a lower voice, some may sing in a higher voice, and the same with girls as well. So hope that is clear. Now let me play a couple of audios for you guys on how these instruments sound, so it's clearer for you. So I'm just playing a few samples that I've handpicked so you can understand how the pitch changes. So firstly, let me play a double bass, which is low volume. Here it is. So this was a double bass, right? Now let me play a quick violin sample for you. So hope that was clear. So as you heard, the pitches changed with a double bass and a violin, right? So as I was also talking about different instruments, so let me also quickly take my guitar. Say for example, I have a ukulele here, which is a smaller instrument and the strings are much thinner and we get a much higher sound, right? Now let me take my guitar. So guitar is definitely much bigger in size, the amplification is different, and if I play, so it's a much lower sound, right? So this is the difference. Now a few other things, even with my guitar, I can tell you how the pitch and volume changes. Volume obviously depends on how hard I strum it. If I'm strumming it softly, it's low in volume. This is high in volume. So that's fairly simple, right? But even with the guitar, there are different ways with which the pitch changes. So one is, I don't know how clear this is, but the top strings are thicker and the bottom strings are thinner. So thicker strings have low pitch. It's a low note. But the higher strings, the bottom strings, have a much higher pitch compared to, right? So that is one. And another aspect is, so this is what we call as tuning keys. So we turn these. So when we turn this, the string either becomes tighter or looser. So you might have seen if a rubber band is stretched and you play it and you just hit it, it will vibrate more than when it's not too stretched, then it won't vibrate, right? So the same way, if you increase the tightness of a string, the pitch increases. The same with your vocal cords, when you make them for specific styles of singing, when you push your air upwards, when you tighten the sound, the pitch increases, right? And you can sing higher notes. And when you let yourself loose, when the position of your larynx or your voice box is a bit lower and relaxed, it's easier to sing lower notes, right? That is pitch. And the other thing on the guitar where the pitch varies is if I play it here, say, let me show it to you. If I play it here, it's a little lower compared to on the same string if I play it much higher, right? Because what is happening is when I play it here, the vibration is happening only from here to here. But when I play it here, the vibration is reduced even further just to this length. So as the length of vibration reduces, the pitch also increases. So that is why when you play a lower fret on a guitar, you get a lower sound compared to a higher fret, right? So as the length of the string reduces, the pitch reduces. So hope that helps clarify a bit of what I was talking about in terms of pitch and loudness. So now let us go back to a few more samples that I have for you guys. So yeah, so now we just saw the double bass and the violin. Now I'm sure most of you have seen this, right? So the flute is usually a wind instrument which you blow into. So, but there are different ranges of flutes, but even then, the more common one is a higher pitched sound. So if I play it for you, this is how you might have heard of a flute. So there are different kinds of flutes, not just the Indian flute, which is pictured here. There are throughout Asia, Chinese, Japanese, and even a few Western flutes as well. But this is how a typical Indian flute sounds. So typically it has a higher sound, right? And next we are just talking about another wind instrument here, which you blow into basically, which is what we call a tuba. So maybe a few of you haven't heard of it. This is another instrument similar to a saxophone or a trumpet, which is more common. And this is how it sounds. It has a much lower sound compared to a flute. So both these instruments can go high and low, but the characteristic sound that you hear mainly would be different. Right now, before we go into the grand piano pictured here, I also want to talk to you about octaves on a piano. So on the left side, if you've ever played a keyboard or a piano, when you play the left side, you get lower notes. And when you play as you go right, the pitch increases, right? So that is how it works. So essentially, this is the same as how different people have different octaves, right? Say, let me give you some famous examples which you might know. Say a singer, or okay, let's not take a singer. Let's keep it a little more Indian. So you would have heard of Amitabh Bachchan sir's voice, right? So he has a very bass or a very low voice. So he speaks in a much lower pitch compared to, say, for example, Michael Jackson, right? Who is very famous for his very high, feebly sound. So it depends on which octave they are speaking or singing in. For someone with a lower voice, it would be more towards the left of the piano. For someone with a higher voice, it would be more towards the right. So it's a whole different spectrum or a range that we're looking at. So now let me just play a bit of a low piano for you on the left side so you hear it. Right, so this was the lower octaves. Now let me play a higher piano. Right, so this is a more higher pitched, more towards the right side. Got it? So hope that was clear. So this was one presentation that I had for you guys. So hope the concept of pitch is clearer now, and also volume, of course. So now a couple of things I want to talk about with respect to pitch and volume before we move further to the songs. And also, guys, stay till the end of the session today, because we are also going to be listening to a sneak peek of the lesson we have planned for the next class and the new song that we're going to look at, right? So we're going to be learning a new song, Do or Dear. This is the final session. So please stay and you will get a sneak peek of how the song goes, right? Okay, so now just wrapping up the topic of pitch and volume, I just want to tell you guys that when you have to sing louder, right? I mean, when you have to sing higher, you don't necessarily have to go loud. So say, imagine I'm singing na 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 or na na na. I don't have to go na na na. So many people while singing, they strain when they have to sing even slightly higher. What I sang wasn't very high, but that was just a demonstration. If I have to sing even higher, na na na. See, I'm keeping my volume restrained. I'm not singing na na na. I'm not screaming. I'm not straining my voice, right? So volume is not necessary to be increased. You don't have to be loud when you sing high. You don't have to be soft when you sing low. If you're singing a low note, if you're this soft, most people won't even be able to hear you, right? So I would probably increase the volume. See how nice and solid that sounds, right? And when I'm singing high, I can keep it low. I don't need to go, I don't need to be too loud. So this is what we call dynamics, right? So as a singer, how soft you are, how loud you are compared to which pitch, whether you're singing in a low pitch or a high pitch, to make a have a balance with all of this is really, really important. So please pay attention to that. And as I told you, you don't have to go loud when you go high. That is usually a sign of straining. If the song requires it, you can, but if you're going loud every time you sing high, then the technique is wrong. So you must slowly blend into that pitch, right? And not just try to throw out volume with your throat. So that is the thing. And yeah, another important point, now that I told you this, but what we call dynamics, right? So changing between a softer sound to a louder sound would also add a lot more drama, right? So as I say, a song is nothing but a 3-minute film. So this is a lot of songwriters and musicians say this, that a song is basically a 3-minute long film, so where you're telling a story. So in a story, if you're watching a movie, if you just have a flat storyline, right, for 3 hours, if nothing is happening, if it's just the same thing over and over, there's no highs, there are no lows, no drama, no emotion, no what do you say, fight sequences, no songs, there's no excitement, right? So even with a song and with a singer singing a song, this is exactly the same. If I'm singing everything with one dynamic, of course the pitch will keep changing, but how soft I go or how loud I go, if I don't change that, then where is the excitement in the song, right? So as a singer, it's your responsibility to understand the lyric, understand the melody or the tune that you're singing, and you need to try to vary the dynamics. That is where you have to be soft, where you have to be loud, and so on. So let me give you a quick example. So because this is what we call tension and release, right? So you release it when you are lower, and then suddenly you build up the tension, go high, and then come back low again. So it's all about that excitement, just like in a movie. So when I'm singing, so let me just take a quick example of a very famous Miley Cyrus song which has come out recently. It's called Flowers. So if I'm singing the pre-chorus to the chorus, see the difference. If I'm singing both at a low volume, so the pre-chorus is this. Pre-chorus is basically the part that comes before the main part of the song, right? So the pre is, I didn't want to leave you, I didn't want to lie, started to cry and then remembered I. So this is the pre. And from here, if I don't jump up to the chorus, it doesn't give you that excitement. If I just sing in a low pitch and a low volume, so see how that sounds. But then remembered I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand. It's fine, but there's not too much excitement or drama happening. Now, let me go higher in pitch, but I won't increase the volume too much. Or let me just increase the volume and but not go higher in pitch. See how that sounds. I didn't want to leave you, I didn't want to lie, started to cry and then remembered I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand, talk to myself for hours. So now it sounds okay, it sounds a bit better, but it's just the volume is increasing. It feels like someone was listening to a song on a speaker, and when the chorus came, they just increased the volume, right? So where dynamics really work is when you know to go high, when you know to go low. So I told you that you don't always have to go high when the pitch is high, but with a part like a chorus, you want most of the impact, right? So it's better if you go louder and the pitch also increases. So now let's do it with a lower volume and pitch in the pre-chorus, but as we go to the chorus, let's increase both the pitch and the volume. So I didn't want to leave you, I didn't want to lie, started to cry and then remembered I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand, talk to myself for hours, oh, say things you don't understand. So I didn't go too high compared to the previous take, but you can see those notes which are soaring high, right? So that makes a lot of difference in having that impact. So as a singer, we're going to be talking about dynamics much more in detail later. But as a singer, it's very important to know what is causing the difference in dynamics from low to a louder sound, like a softer to a louder sound, and a low pitch to a higher pitch, right? Okay, so now we are coming to solfege patterns. Just a quick run of the solfege patterns that we have. So let me open it for you guys. So this is something that we did already, right? So I want you guys to repeat this with me. So this is the solfege shuffle. So let's just, I'm just going to take my guitar quickly. So let's quickly run through this because we don't have too much time. And I also have to talk about skipping solfege notes after this. So in the solfege shuffle, we have do. This is do. So we have do, re, mi, fa, so, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Right, this is what we learned in class 2. So I just want you guys to repeat number 2, 3, 4, 5 with me. Okay, so now we're doing it backwards. This is the higher do. Okay, so this is the lower do. So we have do, ti, la, so, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. Right? Great job. Now let's take a look at the 4 pattern. So we take 4 notes at once. It is do, re, mi, fa, so, mi, fa, sol, la, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Right? Once again. Do, re, mi, fa, so, mi, fa, sol, la, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Great. Now backwards. Do, ti, la, so, fa, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. Great job. Now the last part of the solfege shuffle is do, re, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, re, do. So you go up till only the 5th note and then come back, right? So it is do, re, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, re, do. So once again, do, re, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, re, do. Great job, guys. So now we are moving forward to a new exercise which is really important, which is to understand all the different notes with respect to do, right? So this is called skipping solfege notes exercise. So here basically, as the description says, we are singing all the other solfege notes with the first note do as the reference, right? This is called interval training, which basically helps us identify any solfege note with respect to the first note, that is do. So let me play the whole sequence for you on the guitar and also sing it for you. So it's basically do, re. So I'm starting my do here. Do, re, and then do, re, mi, do, re, mi, fa, do, re, mi, fa, so, do, re, mi, fa, so, la, do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, and then we go back to do. So with respect to do, we have do, re, do, mi, do, fa, do, so, do, la, do, ti, do. right? So this is really, really important for you guys to start hearing. So let me just play a few notes for you, try and guess which it is. So this is an exercise which you guys have to prepare. So I'll just do a fun activity with you guys. I'll play the do and I'll play a note. Try and guess which one it is. So this is do. So I'm playing do. Did you guess that? So it is do, mi. So it's do, re, mi. Right? So do, mi. So it was number 2. So now let's do one more. Let me give you something simpler now. This is very easy. If you've practiced your solfege patterns, this should be very simple for you. Right, so if you guessed do, re, it's just the second note. So do, re is correct. So number 1 is the right guess. Now try and guess this. Do. Right, so if you guessed do, so, that is number 4. You were perfectly right. Now let's do a couple more. So I'm doing do. Can you guess this? It is do, la. So number 5. So now this one. Any guesses? If you guessed it was the higher octave do, 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 the 8th note, that is number 7 in the skipping solfege notes, it's do, do. You were right. Now, last one. Any guesses? So if you guessed do, fa, that's number 3, do, re, mi, fa, you were perfectly right. One last one before we finish. So if you guessed do, ti, you were perfectly right. So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So it's really, really important as a singer to be able to recognize your other pitches or other notes with respect to the first one, that is do, right? So it would help you become a much better singer, and you would also be able to sing in tune with different instruments. You would also be able to communicate better with other musicians, right? So this is a great little exercise, solfege skips, so you should do it. And now I'm hoping you guys would practice that at home. So now let's move on to the song that we have done the last few times. So now we are wrapping this up. So guys, we are just doing this twice today. I'm playing it once, and you guys, the first time I'm doing it, I'm singing one line and you're repeating the line after me. And the next time we're just gonna sing it together, right? So just 2 times. So I'm starting. This is do. Okay, so we're starting with do. Okay, so repeat after me now. Do, a deer, a female deer. Ray, a drop of golden sun. Me, a name I call myself. Far, long, long way to run. So I need a pulling thread. La, a note to follow. So a tea, a drink with jam and bread. And that brings us back to do, right? So now let's do the whole thing together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doe, a deer, a female deer. Ray, a drop of golden sun. Me, a name I call myself. Far, a long, long way to run. So I need a pulling thread. La, a note to follow. So tea, I drink with jam and bread. And that brings us back to do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So this is where we finally wrap up this song. That was great, everyone. So I'm really proud of you. We've completed song number 1 in the course. So yeah, that is the end of Do Dear. So we might revisit it later on. But for now, we will be moving on to another song and a few other topics in the coming weeks, right? So hope you've had fun learning that song. And as promised, I do have the next song for you guys. I've sung it for you with a backing track. So I'll play it for you. I'll just play a sneak peek. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'll play 2 sections, 1 verse and 1 chorus. And that should get you guys excited. It is a really nice song and it's a little harder compared to Do Dear as well. So if you've learned your solfege notes, if you've learned the Do Dear song, if you've understood the difference between volume and pitch, you're ready to move on to the next song. So it's called A Beautiful Day. I'll play it for you. The sun shining in the window, time to start a new day. Can't you hear the songbirds singing? They're gonna sing out loud and say that it's a beautiful day from running in the sun. A beautiful day has just begun. A beautiful day to do what I want to do. It's a beautiful day to be alive. A beautiful day, so glad that I've got a beautiful day, and I'd like to share it with you. So this was a sneak peek of the song. It's called It's a Beautiful Day. It's a really nice song and it has some challenging parts as well. So hope you guys are excited and ready to learn it. So guys, that's it for today's lesson. Hope you all really enjoyed it. For those of you, again, who are new, go back and watch the previous 3 videos if you did not understand anything in this one. And drop your comments below on any topics that you have a doubt with. And we'll make sure to answer your questions, right? Once again, you'll find all the material in the description box of the video. And for those of you who are using the SIFF Young Artist app, you'll also find all the material, including the video, in the app. For those of you who don't have the app yet, do download it. So I'll see you next Monday at the same time at 4 p.m. So until then, make sure to practice, keep singing. I'll see you all soon. Take care.